we have someone also from New Zealand. All right, all the way down from New Zealand with us. This is fantastic. Okay, now we will move on, and I would like to introduce to you our next honored guest speaker, Lily Fu. A little bit about Lily. Lily is the founder of Seniors Aloud, an online community for seniors, set up for seniors to promote active, healthy aging and lifelong learning. She holds a master's in applied gerontology from NTU in Singapore, and also a master in teaching English from the University of Malaya. Lily is going to talk about the myths and how we're going to debunk the myths about aging and how we need to live our lives now and how we can live a beautiful life moving forward. So without further ado, I'd like to hand you over to Lily Fu, our speaker for this session today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Derek. So I'll do my share screen now.
Yes, please.
Right. Okay.
All good.
Right. So I've been waiting for my session for the last 2 days. So finally it's here. I'm waiting, and I can see there are quite a lot of people that I know in the gallery view. Thank you for turning up and supporting. First up, as you can see from my first slide, this is my topic, and it's all going to be mostly about images, right? You're going to see lots and lots of photos of my friends, the seniors in the community of Seniors Aloud, as well as University of the Third Age, because these are the two community groups that I am really actively involved in. So let's get started. Now, this is something that I hope we will never use, to describe ourselves. And I don't know, I put a lot of the blame, sorry, media, I put a lot of the blame on the media. Media, the journalists, the reporters, they're all pretty young. So when they cover a story, I see the headline, elderly scam or so much, or elderly this or elderly that. Then I read, and then I look at the age, elderly 60. Elderly 60. I can tell you for one thing, we in the 60s group, we just don't like to be called elderly, right? Why? Because of public perception. If I were to ask all of you, can you just give me 3 words, or the first word that comes to mind when you think of the word elderly? And then you have all these words popping up, all these adjectives, very, very negative. And the public has been given this perception for I don't know how long, decades. So much so that whenever we think of elderly, all these images conjure up these images. Everything is negative, very, very depressing for us. It's not a good age to be if we are going to be like this, right? So what can we do about it? The other thing also I would like to touch on before I proceed is that, when you lump everybody together into one huge group, for example, seniors, right? I know that amazing seniors start the age at 50, but I can tell you for a fact, Jasmine and Penny, that you approach anybody who is 50 and in the 50s, and then you refer to them as seniors. I'm not sure whether they are happy with that term. Just like us in our 60s and 70s, we do not like to be called elderly as well. And even the United Nations, they have given up referring to old people. They use a nicer, gentler term called older persons, right? Older is not quite the same as old persons, right? So looking at this slide here, you can see the group, the demographics is huge. It's very, very broad. From age 65, for example, 65 plus, it could go up to 100 nowadays because of longevity. And we know ourselves personally, as well as from friends and people we see around, that this is a huge group that could be subdivided further into 3 groups. If for those doing research, for example, we normally identify or break this huge group, 60 and above, into 3 categories: young, old, middle old, and old, right? You can look it up in Google and you find out which age the group falls into this category, right? So I think for me, for example, I consider myself as middle old, not quite old yet. But let's have a look. Let's carry on. Oh, one more thing I want you to take note of is you see at the bottom, these are the figures I got now from MOH. You can see that the figures above, below there shows you something that's pretty scary. And I'm sure many of you are already aware that, you know, the aging, we are aging. Malaysia as a country has a rapidly aging population. Are we prepared for the challenges that lie ahead? I don't really think so, but at least we have made a start. So when I look at, I'm going to take the term amazing seniors and your tagline, life begins at 50, literally. And let's break it down and see, right? So the first thing I did was ask my children. The photos you see here, they're all my children. And I asked them, I recall many years ago in the year 2008, when I first started the seniors allowed. I was looking for a name. And then after I got the name, my daughter said, "Ayo, mommy, why do you want to have the word seniors in your group name? You know, it's like a turn off because it's seniors. That is the image they have. Old, you know, like what I showed you in my second slide, all the negative perceptions. But today, they have turned 50. So what happens? Penny, I heard you have joined a gang also, right? Jasmine, you're on the threshold, okay?
I am here. I am here. So here.
Very soon, very soon.
Okay. So the first picture on the left is my daughter, 52. And I'm very happy to say that she has found her ikigai, her passion in life, only this year, right? So life really begins at 50 for her as well. So what has she done? She just launched, I think April, she started this new group called ADHD. For those who are not aware of what it means, it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, because she has it herself and one of my granddaughters also has it. So she started it, and last month in October, she registered it. And my gosh, it's just like, you know, she's getting interviews, calls from the government ministers and so forth. Great. And on the extreme, you know, right, you have my other daughter. She has also discovered her passion, which is she's into photography and you know, video editing and so forth. In fact, she was the assistant director helping me out when I did my documentary, Meninti Senja. And she's now focusing on music video, producing music videos for people. And in the center is my son-in-law. At the age of 50, he became the fastest man in Asia. Just out of the blues, he participated, right? And then he won. So the tagline, the tag still sticks to him. The fastest man in Asia representing Singapore in the Asia Games, and he won. So that is what happens when you are 50. It's a milestone, no doubt, but it doesn't mean that, you know, you are tapering, going slowly, going down. You know, you are beginning to go uphill at this age. Yes. And I'm going to share with you a whole lot of people that I know. These are all my friends. They are in our community. These are the 60s, those in the 60s. Look at how wonderful they are. Right. I'm going to really remove all this negative perception after my talk. Here we have James. James just discovered a new career, doing TV commercials, you know, online commercials and so forth. Here you can see promoting, I think, coffee, right? And he's enjoying it. And over here you can see Lauren. Lauren is 66, right? He still plays a fast game of tennis almost daily. And we have Zarina here. Zarina is from U3A. She discovered her potential, her artistic, her creative potential when she joined our art classes in U3A. You can see some of her charcoal sketches and behind some acrylic painting, watercolor and so forth, right? And down here we have Marlene. I look at Marlene and I'm thinking, not all people need to be obese, you know. She's she's got a perfect slim model kind of figure that I would just give anything for. Looking good in any kind of clothes that she wears. And she loves travel as well. So very, very active. And down here we have Joanne. Joanne is, as you can see, she's into her new hobby, which is wood carving. A senior doing wood carving as a new hobby. She's also an avid cyclist. She brings along her bicycle everywhere she travels, to Cambodia, Vietnam, and so forth, cycling overseas at this age. Wonderful. And this one, well, there are two photos of her because she's one truly amazing 60-year-old, 65 in fact. This is Linda. Don't please, this is not like I forgot to rotate her photo. No, 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 no. She's doing a pole, right? She's doing a pole. I said, oh my gosh, 65 years old, and she's doing that. Truly amazing. Sorry. And over here, you can see Linda again at the bottom. She's a grandma. This is a modern grandma taking a grandchild out for a cycling kind of, round. Can you imagine a grandma doing that at 65? And up here, no, we keep on talking about amazing seniors, but honestly, I think we can be amazing in any role. For example, we can be an amazing grandma. Look at Dr. Kwang. She's looking after 3 of her grandchildren there. Isn't that amazing? It's not easy. I can tell you that being a grandma myself, right? Amazing. It can be anything, like I said. Amazing husband, amazing wife, amazing friend. You can add anything you want at the back. Just live up to it. Just be amazing in your way, small, big, or medium. Yeah, whatever you choose to be. Right. Moving on, we have the next category, the amazing 70s and 80s as well. So you can see, and I would like to highlight a few of them. Of course, here you can see Henry, 73, very, very fit for a 73-year-old, right? And up here you can see dancing. This couple, I think some of you may know her, Dato' Khairuddin and his wife, Karia K. They love dancing, they love to sing. And over here we have Judy. Judy plays the ukulele. And over here, outdoors, going outdoors, hiking, bicycling, cycling. And down here, we have Kasuma. Kasuma is well known for being an instructor, certified instructor for chair yoga. Amazing. We put her video on our Seniors Aloud Facebook, and it garnered almost 2 million views. That's amazing, right? And over here, she's also leading our U3A Gamilan group. So don't think that once you're in your 60s, there's nothing much you can do, plenty. And Andal here is into yoga. She can teach us a lot about yoga and breathing exercises. And up here, you can see Lam. I think some of you know her, Lam. And she is into gardening, and she has produced a recipe book based on the herbs from her garden. Right, so these are some of the amazing. Oh, I must introduce you to Mr. Tang. Mr. Tang is 88 years old, and he is currently the office administrator at University of the Third Age. Imagine that, 88 years old. So all you out there looking for jobs at higher.seniors, don't let your age deter you, right? We have got here a good example, 88 years old, Mr. Tang, our U3A office manager, administration. Right, moving on. She is my very, very own amazing senior. A lot of people ask me, hey, Lily, how did you get started on all this, community service and blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me tell you, it is all due to Teresa. I first met her when she was 110 years old. I couldn't believe it. I remember I was there at the talk, and I was waiting for her to be wheelchair outright. And in my mind, I was thinking of wrinkly old lady, bent over. And there she was, laughing away, sharing jokes and all that, talking, launching her book, right? Amazing at 110. She passed away at the age of 113. And I'm very happy to say that at least I got to know her during the last 3 years of her life and spend time with her, visiting her, and going on around with her to distribute to the older people living alone, the elderly living alone in Tiong Bahru. I went with her on a visit. And down here, you can see, we introduced her to Tony Robbins. And she was so excited. But I think Tony Robbins was even more excited to meet someone who's 111 years old. And even at that age, see, you can still enjoy life. Her first kite flying, we took her kite flying as well. So there are lots of things you can still do and still contribute to the community, no matter what age you are, even at 110, 111, and so forth, right? So I did a small little personal survey, not scientific, but just gathering from here and there. And I put together 10 points, 10 things I noticed that super agers have in common. So I studied them, right? And I have come up with this 10. You can see none of them are obese. Like Marlene, I showed you just now, very slim. And they're very careful about what they eat, so they're not obese at all. They live simple lives, not necessary to be, to enjoy luxury and all that. But if you can afford it, sure. And then exercise, positive outlook is very, very important. A lot of people don't mention this. Then you must have a desire to learn, no ill feelings towards anyone. And number 8 is super important to me too. You must have a purpose. Otherwise, in the morning you wake up, it's another day. It's another day. Yeah, and you can't wait for the day to be over. You have a passion, it will drive you. And 9, do not think of yourself as old. And number 10, social connections, strong relationships, super important. And over here you have a quotation from Teresa. Actually, you can read more about Teresa. All you got to do is just Google Teresa's name, Teresa Sue, and Seniors Aloud. You have a beautiful story I wrote about her, right? You get to know her. And over here, there's another thing that drives me as well from Teresa, and that is peace begins with us. In fact, for me, I would like to extend it further. Everything begins with us, with me. You want to change outside? Change yourself first. Everything starts from within. You want to give love? Love yourself first. Yes. So I'm coming to the last few slides. Learn never to say, old already, sudah tua, low law. In any language, it is a common, phrase that a lot of older people use. Old, cannot do this, waiting to die only. So sad. How do you spend the rest of your life waiting to die? Oh, miserable. Sorry, I have to say that, because a lot of people feel that way. So words have power, remember that. If you keep on saying that, it becomes a mantra. And that's a super negative mantra. Not only do words have power, thoughts have power too. If you're all the time so negative, in your mind, you're thinking negative already. It's not good. Why is it that some people after surgery, they recover and some people don't make it? Why? A lot also has to do with your attitude. So if you are positive about aging, I can assure you, as you will see later in the next slide, you will look more youthful, you have a stronger immunity, and in these days of COVID, that helps a lot to have a strong immunity. You have better health, and if you should go for any surgery, you have faster recovery, and of course you have longer life, right? And say yes. We said no earlier, but now we say yes. Yes to all these things. Because when you reach 60, for example, you enjoy all this. It's all given to you. So why not make use of it? Enjoy your freedom, enjoy your independence. Yeah, your children have all already independent. So now your turn to be independent and enjoy freedom. Romance. Let's look at romance in the next slide. Look at that. I love this photo or this picture of Mrs. J and Mr. J. They are now in their 80s. Right? I think this photo was taken maybe 3-4 years ago. Beautiful photo. It makes you so happy just looking at the couple. Who says you're too old to love? Who says you're too old for sexual intimacy? Nonsense. You can still, I can see Derek. Oh, I can see Derek giving an expression. Yeah, Penny and, also Jasmine. Unbelievable, is it? No lah, can. There are always ways, right? Yes, and over here, down here, this is a picture taken from the Star. And it shows, even in nursing home, in aged care centers, the elderly can still find love. This couple in the 80s got married recently. They found each other in the care home. Isn't that amazing? Yes, I love seeing elderly people holding hands and so forth. We don't have enough of them. We want to see more. Right, look at this one. Yes, so if you think you can't, you can't. If you think you can, right? So whichever one you think, you are right. Absolutely. It's all how you feel about it. Yes, look at this grandma. Now this one is the cover of our calendar. We produced a calendar last year featuring every month an inspiring senior, 12 of them all together. This is the cover. The cover shows our Seniors Allowed team. And our logo, I mean, our title here is Live Active, Live Healthy, then you can live long, right? So we can still, not too late, never say it's too late for anything. Never too old, never too late to make the best of your life. Yes. A reminder as my last slide, so you don't forget. I carried this all around when I was studying in Singapore. Yeah. And then when I came back to Malaysia, KL, I also carried it around, carrying the message on MRT, LRT, no matter where I go, to tell people never let age, and I'm talking about young age as well, right? Even if you are 9 years old, 10 years old, you can still make a name for yourself or do something great. There's no stopping you if you have a strong drive, a strong passion to achieve your dreams. And this is what made me still continue with Seniors Allowed and the community and University of the Third Age. We have amazing seniors there. Penny, Jasmine, take note. We have amazing seniors in these two groups, and as well as in many other senior groups as well. And I'm hoping that one day somebody will take up the challenge, right? What is the challenge? To do a study, a survey, a study to compare the seniors of maybe seniors who are frail, frail and senile or whatever, and then also interview those, get a comparison with those seniors who are not active and healthy. And I would love to see what the ratio is, what the difference is. I got the feeling that over the coming years, the percentage of active, healthy seniors will be higher than the other group. I got the feeling, but no one has done a study, comparative study yet. So the challenge is out there. And with this, I end my talk.
All right. Thank you so much, Lily, for such an inspiring session and talk. We do have some questions. We do have some questions for you. First question is from me, actually. Can you give us some suggestions on what we can do in our twilight years? What seniors can do? Maybe some suggestions to start us off on our journey, a new experience. What can you suggest for us?
Okay, thank you for that, Derek. Join U3A, join University of the Third Age, because we offer more than 50 courses covering languages, art and craft, cooking, whatever it is, all there. So join and then pick what you want. And it's not only just a matter of stimulation, mental stimulation. You're learning short courses, right? You are making new friends as well. So you get two benefits just joining U3A. So do that. Hey, go to the Facebook.
On that note, I really agree with you, Lily. Someone asked me on my 50th birthday, what do I want? So you know what I did? I started my master's and I completed it. So yes, that's at 50. So I think that learning, it's lifelong learning. At the end of the day, we learn something new every day, and I spent my whole entire thesis on exploring on how to actually build amazing seniors into a great community as well. So actually that's what I did, and I didn't regret a single moment. Of course, there were points that I almost wanted to give up. Yes, but
okay,
yeah, Lily, I agree with you. Guys, U3A.
Yeah. Amy, we must have a chat over coffee, exchange notes.
Esai, can, no problem.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks for that.
Okay, what I'll do now, right now is I'm going to open up the chat for those who are online now to ask questions live with Lily. A few questions. I'm going to open up. Anyone, please ask Lily some questions. Ask her secret. Okay?
May I?
Yes, please do. Please do. This is a never before, man.
I have already posted the question, but just in case it was not seen. Wonderful, Lily. Thank you for this sharing.
Thank you.
Could you share in brief, mainly the highlights, how you went about setting up Seniors Allowed and University of the Third Age? Thank you. And highlight more on what challenges and struggles that you have to do to set up the group? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Wow, that's a a huge question. Okay, I'll try my best. I set up Seniors Allowed in 2008 because I became a senior myself when I retired. And then I found that there were many needs of seniors, right, that were not met. And nobody was speaking up for them. That was 2008 or even earlier, 2005, when I retired. And I said, gosh, poor thing. Then I visited a few aged care centers, and they were really, the conditions were deplorable. Remember, that was about more than 10 years ago, right? People were not talking about it. And I used to complain online, right? I said, how come at the Star, the newspaper and all that, the government even allow 1st of October to pass unnoticed? 1st of October is actually in United Nations International Day of Older Persons, but it was not celebrated in our country. So I decided must do something about it, right? So that's why I started Seniors Allowed. It was a struggle. Honestly, it was a struggle. I felt like giving up until I met Teresa. And that gave me hope. And I continue. And today I'm very happy. I've got people like Penny, and Jasmine supporting. People will say, what's the difference? Oh yeah, I got this question on day one. What's the difference between Seniors Allowed and Amazing Seniors? Is Amazing Seniors affiliated under Seniors Allowed? I said, no lah. I said, just because of the name seniors, we don't compete, we collaborate, right? We work together with other senior groups as well.
I got to add on, huh? We were inspired by Lily as well. Seriously, we were.
So, I mean, it's good. We should all get together and help one another, support one another, right? Not fight, not challenge. We are not political. Yes. So then that's how we got started. And then for U3A, I stumbled upon U3A. I read about it in the newspaper, The Star. And I said, hey, this is something I'd like to check out. So I went for the open day, got very interested. I didn't start it. By the way, I didn't start it, okay? It was started by Professor Tunku Aizan. She brought it in. And then we tested it out. It was found to be an excellent program. And they got it registered in 2010, I think, as an NGO. And I got into the committee in 2011. And I've been in the committee till today. Yes, helping them, promote U3A. And please support U3A. We are ending the year, but we're going to start next year, fresh program. So do check us out. Yes. I hope that answers the question.
I think May has got a question.
Yeah, wait, just add on. I forgot about the challenges. Like I said, a lot of challenges, right? I almost wanted to give up Seniors Allowed because 1 month after I started Seniors Allowed, I was in surgery, major surgery. And I can tell you a fact that it's very hard when you start something. Amazing Seniors has done it the right way because now after more than 10 years, they know how to use social media platforms and this and that. When I started, tak ada lah. Apa pun tak ada WhatsApp, so don't have, right? So it was tough. It was really tough. Yeah. Okay, back to you, Penny. You were saying?
No, I think there's a Miss May Yap who has put up her hands. You want to say something? And guys, please unmute yourselves. Ask the question. Put your hands up. Let's ask. Let's talk.
Yes, thanks, Penny. Thank you, Lily, for your wonderful sharing. I can see the passion you have. May I ask you a question? May I know how young you are?
Wait, who is asking that question first? Who is talking? Because I can't see on my screen.
May.
Oh, May. All right. Lily.
Okay, I tell you one thing, May. The funny thing about age is that, when you are young, in your 40s, let's say, right? And if people ask you, how old are you? You always say, guess. I really hate that question of guess, And then most people in their 40s, the ladies, I'm talking about ladies, men, they don't get two hoots. For ladies, if you ask them, how old are you? They won't tell you. They will say guess, or they'll say something else. But the funny thing is, once you have reached 60 and going older and older, you are so proud of your age.
Exactly.
I even wrote an article called, Wear Your Age with Pride. And it's on the button, wear your age with pride, So whatever it is, yeah, I'm 73, okay?
Wow. Congrats.
Wow.
Like that when we are 73.
Yes, yes.
Hey, but wait, later you can see somebody coming up later this afternoon who is much older than me, and she's wonderful. She's excellent, right? You have to wait.
You know, Lily, I never get to tell people my age because my aunties normally stop me. Every time I want to tell people my age, my aunties will kind of like slap me left and right because every time I tell my age, they feel older. Quite amazing, right? Because they saw me growing up, right? And they are like, oh no, you can't be that age right now. But I'm like, it's okay. I am 52 young, okay? Not old, but I'm 52 year young.
Yeah, lucky.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Yes. Amanda, you raised a hand. Sorry, Lily, you were gonna say something?
No, I just want to say that age is just a number, huh? We all know that, right?
Yes, that's right.
I
That's
can't
right.
imagine that. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, I must keep in mind, must see your face then.
There is a question. How do you maintain your skin? It's flawless, Lily.
Oh, because my camera is very blurry, like the photo.
You're too modest.
No, it's true. My grandson, my youngest grandchild is, when he was 3 years old, he would look at his hand and my hand, put them together, and he said, "Grandma, why is your hand so different from my hand?" Imagine a 3-year-old and mine, I was maybe 60 something. And, it's very hard to explain. One day I took him to see his great grandma, right? And when he went, he's a nursing home, right? And he said, "Is this a museum of old people so that they're all on exhibition, old people?" I just didn't know what to say, So I think age is relative. If you're young, anybody who is like 10 or 20 years older than you is old. Oh, my neighbor has started drilling. Can you hear? Oh, the new neighbors moved in here next door.
Sorry, I missed just now. I want to buy the bag to walk around. I'm very proud of that. Where can we?
It's only a one-off, bespoke one-off bag.
It's okay, Lily. We'll bring it back for you, okay? We'll bring it back.
And then another thing is people asking, what's the difference? I think there's also one big difference. You can see that amazing seniors, right? They give you every day, they give away tons of prizes, lucky draw gifts. This is one thing we don't do. We have nothing to give our members or anybody. The only time we give away lucky draw is only when we have our annual dinner and dance. Yeah, so that's amazing. So many of my friends have won, gifts and, in lucky draw prizes.
And more to come.
Okay.
Don't forget to sign up for your lucky draw.
Lily, don't forget.
Lily, I am Betty Pua. I am your great friend. I have a question for you. I always admire the courses that you have in U3A. I just want to find out whether the courses are conducted virtually to benefit many who cannot find their way all the way to your UPM.
Thank you for asking that. A lot of people ask me that question as well. Yeah, we just can't help it because the whole of last year, almost the whole of last year, many seniors have paid and registered, but we were not able to conduct the courses. So from March onwards, when lockdown started, we did nothing, absolutely nothing, right? Because we were told we are in a vulnerable group, so cannot meet face to face. Then we thought, cannot, we old people, right? They have already paid, the seniors have paid. So we decided, never mind. This year, we want to get online. But we knew nothing about Zoom. We are seniors, don't forget. Even the instructors themselves, some of them do not know how to use Zoom to teach as well. So it's a huge learning, point for us. But we were very lucky because somebody in our committee, and I will mention his name because we are all so thankful to him, Manso. He's in our committee, U3A committee. He learned and he taught us. Very patient. He taught us how to conduct Zoom, how to use Zoom to host this and that, and we did it. So starting from February until now, we have online courses. So we are still continuing the online courses, and I think that's the way we're going to go for next year for most of our courses.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, okay.
I have a question. Thank you very much, Lily.
Mrs. J.
Yeah, my question is this. You started in 2008. I know you came to interview me. Beautiful article. Now, since then till now, you have been the voice of the elderly, the seniors. okay? And only recently we have the others. How far have you achieved or made any impact in the government's policies?
Government policies.
Yeah,
I think
affecting the seniors.
I think we have. Yeah, thank you for that. I think it's a very good question. Yes, I'm glad you brought it up. I try to get myself involved in committees that are connected to the government in one way or another, and I have succeeded in doing that. Right, I'm in several committees, and also I don't know whether I should mention it, but we are setting up a coalition, and I'm in that pro tem as well, coalition to gather all the NGOs and civil society organizations under one umbrella. So we have an even more powerful, stronger voice. And yesterday, I just completed 2 months of training based in Seoul, Korea, on advocacy for the rights of older people. This has always been, my call, because that day on day one, somebody mentioned, okay, so all those who are attending your webinars are all from, educated and, they are comfortable and so on. What about all those B40s? Very good question also. And I'm glad to say our focus is on helping those. That's what advocacy is about. So for us at Seniors Aloud, we have 2 main objectives. One is to promote healthy, active living for those like us. And the other one is to use whatever resources we have, whether it is money or expertise or whatever, to enable, to empower the B40s. That's what we're doing.
So I suppose now with Amazing Seniors, which is now I see it as a huge platform because they have encompassed a lot of other things as well. It's like many under one roof. And with the voice that you have had, and with a few other senior groups on Facebook that I see, we might be able to move forward faster.
Yes.
Actually, that's the intention. That's the intention. We want to empower every senior, and we want to make this voice be amplified, because that is very, very important to me. And Lily, you're so right. I'm gonna sit down and have coffee with you really, really soon. Okay. And on the subject of advocacy, right? I'm all for it, because in my head, I tell you, all that rings in my head right now is in the year 2030. The world's population of people aged 60 and above is going to be 20%. And if you think about that, we are a force to be reckoned with. And that is actually what moves me on every day. And I keep telling myself, yep, okay, so I'm 52. What can I bring to the table? I mean, I'm so much younger than the rest, or rather, I'm not there yet. But it is not fair, and that's why we have brought in the age down to 50, because we have gone halfway through life, and we may be the little infants at the little infantile stage, but we are going. You see, I always believe the 50s can help the 60s, can help the 70s, can help the 80s, and it moves on like that. We have brought social media in. We know that. We know how to use that, and that is all in the spirit of advocacy, because we are going to pump it in. All right, and we're going to make it work, because we are going to talk to corporates who are listening to us right now. We're going to be talking to corporations as well to support us, to support this move. But no, we have learned from the past. We're not going to come down on you harsh and do this or you die, that kind of thing. No, we are going to work with you, and we are going to create this community that I myself will be happy to grow older in, and Jasmine will be happy to grow older into. She's joining us in about 3 years' time, okay? She's going to be 50 really, really, really soon, okay?
Not that long to go.
Okay, 2 more years, okay? But that's what we want to do. I mean, with higher seniors, I was so inspired by it. So, seriously, I never knew Jasmine from way back. I never knew Jasmine from way back when. I just got to know her about 6-7 months ago. And we were introduced to each other by a friend of mine. So she got me on board to give a lecture. Okay, by the way, that's what I do as well. I give lectures and trainings and all. And that's how we connected. And then, Jasmine, we suddenly started talking, right? And it was over coffee, and we connected, and we realized that, hey, you have the same idea and we have the same idea. Okay, let's do something together then. Let's collaborate and let's build this. So, and that's what it has been so far. Every step that we take, we've got to admit it, okay? It's not been the easiest. It's not easy. But today, like I said, when we saw the numbers of participants at right now is at 222 online. I mean, come on, who dare say now that seniors don't know how to use Zoom? Come on lah. It doesn't work that way. But you see, once again, like the proof is in the pudding, it's in the numbers. The numbers will help us move this. And that's what we want to do. Lily, thank you for inspiring us, really. And you have really, really set a nice base for us to walk on. And you know, we have to collaborate. Mrs. J is right. Collaborate, move together, and we move forward. Yeah, it's not about the B40s, it's not about the M40s, it's not about the T20s. It's about 100%. All. Remember, 2030, 20% of world population, 60 and above. And you look at 50 and above, my goodness, the percentage is so high. Look at Japan. You know, Japan is converting shopping malls to become places that we can walk on before hours. These are changes that I want to see here as well. And the only way to do this is, nope, not by all of us contributing $1. No, it's not by that. It's about working together, all of us, awareness, corporates. We want it, corporates will give it. Whether or not they'll give it or not, that's another story, but we'll get there. We'll get there, okay? So we need all your support as well to move on. We really, really need all your support. Okay, Jasmine?
May I ask one question?
Yes, Lily, sure.
My turn to ask your question. Okay, at U3A, I have a big challenge, right? And I would like Derek and Raj to maybe answer my question if possible. We have a huge challenge and problem trying to get more men on board. Why are the men so reluctant to join activities that we organize or causes we organize, you know? Could you answer that?
I think from my personal opinion, because I have a alumni of old school boys,
Just one.
and
There is there also.
they are in denial. They are in denial. They are aging and they are of a certain age, because I am a group I come from a missionary school. I come from LaSalle, and I am in groups of a few groups, and I know for a fact a lot of them are in denial. So it has, I think it's more on whether they want to accept that we are reaching 60, we are reaching 70. So you know, we need to accept that fact. I think the reason why a lot of men today are not joining certain platforms is because of denial. That's my personal opinion. What do you think, Raj?
Yeah, well, I think to some extent that might be true, but I can't say that for myself. I'm not trying to blow my own horn or anything of that sort. I look at it this way. I turned 51 in August. And so what did I do for my birthday, or what did I want to do? I decided I've always loved knowing how to play a musical instrument, but I never picked it up over the years. So what did I do just after my birthday? I bought myself a guitar and I started giving myself lessons, in the sense that I'm watching YouTube and learning how to play the guitar. So I really can't speak for the rest of my species, so to speak, if they're lazy or they just don't have the drive for it. But yeah, I think it's a very individual thing. Some people, I think, see age as what you mentioned as well as limiting. But I don't see that, because I think for us, especially for those of us who are still in the working world and still actively working, if you don't try and keep up with the times, you're going to be left behind. And so, you know, therefore then certain challenges come up in terms of acquiring skills or not having the necessary skills for jobs that need those skills, especially when it comes to things like social media. I'm from the media background. I've been in the media for 30 years. I started out in the old days when it was just, everything was print. We didn't have anything online. But now, you know, the media industry itself has evolved. And if you're someone in the 50s or 60s and still working in the media industry, if you don't get on board in terms of what's going on with online publications, what's going on with social media, you're going to be left out, and it's going to be very difficult to continue working in that sense. And I see myself continuing to work, you know, if I can, if with God's grace, beyond my 60s and 70s if I'm able to. So
Yeah, it's great to see both you and Derek involved in with amazing seniors, because we really need manpower. We really need more.
Lily, could another answer to your question there possible, right? Could it come from, you know, like how we have that old adage about men not wanting to ask directions?
I don't know. The guys have to answer that, not me.
Penny, not all men, not all men.
Not
So
all-
don't put us under the same umbrella, okay? I'm happy to ask directions if I get lost.
Yeah, hopefully they realize it, you know, and step up, right? Because it's for their own good, their own health. Because if you look at, maybe I shouldn't say it, but if you look at the statistics for the pandemic, you know, all those that released by MOH, you find that there's a gender imbalance in number of cases. Yeah, and I have to say that because, you know, man, you got to really look after your health.
Yeah.
And be active.
Yeah.
I think Leanne has her hands up, right? Leanne?
Yeah, Leanne, one last question from Leanne.
Hi, thanks again for this wonderful. I think it's great to have a conversation. I don't have a question, but I just want to make a comment that there are loads of Rakyat Biasa who are actively engaged and who are doing things. And that's why I actually don't mind being called seniors or elderly, but for me, it's being an elder. And how do we play the elder's role in various ways, in both our daily lives as well as in the special tasks that we take on to create communities and to co-create and build communities. And I'm particularly concerned, as I've asked before, and it's great to hear you profiling, Lily, how do we get the greater majority of the people on board? Because this, even though they are over 60 or whatever, are still struggling for their daily livelihood. And that's my concern. Thank you. And I like to table here for both the different organizations. I'm doing my part in my little ways here. So that's what I want to share and table it at the conversation.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think,
Thank you.
Yeah. May I just address the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, the last one, right, you said. Yes, I understand where you're coming from, Lian. Over at Seniors Allowed, we do have, like I said earlier, a community arm, community service arm, where we do go out and help. We have a volunteer group as well. And also through advocacy, we are reaching out to those in the B40 through food distribution. But right now, what we are working on is a project, right, that will empower them with digital skills. We are targeting those a little bit more deprived, to bring a digital literacy to them. And this is what we are working on, and we are looking for grants and things like that in order to set it up. And I mean, there are lots of things we can do. Manpower is always one thing. And even if you get the people on board, right, not many of them are dedicated enough to last. Volunteering is like this. But I'm so glad I found you, Lian. Maybe you could get in touch with me and we could have coffee chat with you as well. Yes.
I have to Zoom because I'm not in KL, and definitely you're most welcome to get in touch.
Yeah. And I like the way your introduction, your reference to the word elder. From elderly, you become an elder, respected, doing good for the community. I know the church have this elders and the villages of elders.
My concept of elder is not the church concept of elder, please.
Yeah, I know, but the term comes from that, but it is a broad term. It is a broad term for older people, right, who have won respect from the community because of the work they do, giving back to the wisdom, the experience that they share.
It's their lived experiences of wisdom. And I think many people may not be actively contributing in the way that we actually perceive volunteerism, but we can actually engage them to contribute in various ways.
Yes. If you're interested, Leanne, you can also check out, we have a page. You just check out our community projects, Seniors Allowed. And you can I'm also quite busy, active, doing my little thing. Let's just get on board and share and build on each other's work. Yeah, understand. Yeah, okay. To each our own, right? We do whatever we can.
Okay. Thanks, Lily. Thanks, Leanne. We'll come to the end of Lily's session, and we all of us here would like to thank Lily for your time and your insights and your sharing. We are very appreciative of your sharing this afternoon. you.